It's the way it is. He was he was very he has a friend apparently in the hospital. And he said he was going to be late. Didn't want to leave, because he doesn't think that it doesn't look good for his friend. So we shared it wasn't just a blow off text, like we shared a conversation.
Okay. I feel better about it already.
Yeah. He let me know, like it was probably like 7:45, 7:30, something like that. And it wasn't like me reaching out to him. He was everything you would want someone to be, and we'll reschedule it some other time.
Okay. All right. Well, we're live, so we'll do it.
Let's do it.
Well, better make sure I got recording running.
You can hear Ricky good?
You can hear Ricky good?
Well, good enough. She's kind of down in the weeds, but we'll make it work.
How about now?
Oh, she's way down in the weeds.
Hang on. I need to turn the thing on. Try now.
That's better, I think.
Hey, how you doing?
There you are.
Hey, all right. Sorry.
Gotta get close to it when you're ready to talk about it. All right.
It wasn't plugged in.
It wasn't turned on. The thing wasn't turned on. And here's the thing. I was going to run her through a different computer this week.
Right.
I turn to her. I say, "Are you coming up to the show?"
She said no.
She said, "I really don't want to."
That's not what you said. You said, "Does the cancellation change your mind about wanting to do the show or not?" And I said, "No." My decision wasn't that I wasn't going to do the show; it was that I didn't want to. I wasn't going to.
Oh, well, anyway.
Welcome to the show, guys.
I was going to run her through a different, but she said she wasn't going to do the show, so I didn't set it up.
Right.
And so I just had everything. I had everything left.
Are you running her through that snowball that's on your dining room table? Was on your dining room table?
No. I don't know if I'd be able to run. Well, I could on another line. I could definitely. That's a good idea because that snowball is a good fucking mic.
We gave that to Becky.
And it's got the adjustable settings for room versus like you can
that one does. Yeah, that's the gold one. Yes, that one does.
You'd be able to set that like that should be able to be near her and she would be blowing us out of the water because like you can mic a whole band with that mic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if we were using the other computer, that would be the way to do it, and then run headphones just off the computer.
Right.
However, I didn't do any of that or any of what I was going to do because I misunderstood what was going on.
Anyways.
Yeah. All right, let's get started.
Yeah, let's do this. This week on the Media Virus Podcast, Elon Musk's Starlink network has connected the remote Marubu villages to the world by way of the internet. But tribal elders note that gaming, social media, and porn have affected hunting and fishing activities that support the tribes. The vegans are onto something with their Beyond Meat products, and it's great, as in the great beyond, due to an increase in heart disease associated with ultra-processed fake meats. Scientists find that while we may consider Dumbo or Daisy, elephants are among a short list of creatures that use names to identify and interact with one another. It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us with executive producer Mike Latoris. We're going to start over. BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
Grease Monkey Pete.
Damn, Big Daddy.
Here's the thing about the Media Virus Podcast. It's really well done.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rockdeath.
Hot damn, do we have a show for you people this week. I am Maddie Rockdeath, the mattiest of all the Rockdeaths. and proof positive that anyone can have a podcast. Speaking of, welcome to the Media Virus Podcast. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share. I want to take a minute to thank all the new subscribers, whether it is on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I'm sure we're on others. I don't remember what they are. Google Podcasts is not a thing anymore. That's not YouTube podcasts. I don't
Amazon.
think Amazon. I don't know if we're on Amazon or
like you can go to your talking tube or your Echo device and you can ask for our show and you'll get it.
Yeah.
That is, hey, Alexa, give me the Media Virus Podcast.
Now playing the Media Virus Podcast. Oh my God, it works. That's crazy.
Well, there's one in this room, so I was like, well, fuck, it heard me.
So yeah, nothing's going according to plan for tonight's show, but that's okay. That's how we do it. I got to finish. You can always give us a call here at 646-VIRUS-01, 646-VIRUS-01. You might make it on the show. Thank you for checking us out. It's the Media Virus Podcast. It's me, Mike, and Ricky.
Hello.
Hanging tough.
Hanging to the left.
Yeah. Is that
always
to the left?
Yeah, dress to the
left. Isn't that what guys say? How they hanging? A little to the left.
I didn't actually understand that was about the
balls.
Yeah.
I said it to Alicia today about the baby.
Oh, the baby's got huge balls. Well, I just got back from Boston, or not even Boston, but the
Merrimack Valley.
The Merrimack Valley, Massachusetts. Made my way into Maine. But my grandson was born, Matthew the Third, Matty Rock Death 3. That's very exciting.
The third.
MR3.
That's right. So it's been a very cool thing, and I was gonna tell a bunch of stories from my perspective since she said she wasn't coming. So now I gotta actually tell everything how it actually happened.
I don't even tell her. It's okay. I won't tell everybody that you're lying.
No, you will. I know you will. But we had. I was aggravated because I got to tell you that area of like Haverhill and first of all, if you've ever like Massachusetts, there's a town that's spelled Worcester.
Oh,
Worcester. That's what it's called. It's called Worcester. Okay, there's a whole fucking middle part that we don't need.
I'm probably going.
Oh yeah, the first time, because my sister lives in Haverhill, so the first time I ever drove up to see her, I don't know anything, and I'm in a Dunkin' Donuts, and I go, listen, I'm looking for Haverhill. Where's Haverhill?
You mean Haverhill?
No, it took fucking. I had to write it down and show it to them. Oh, Haverhill. Do you not know how to fucking read? Right, so. Yeah,
Haverhill is just south of Peabody.
So when I was a young lad,
when I was a young warthog,
my mom was dating a guy, and he was originally from up around Cape Cod,
down the Cape,
and we all went down to Ocean City, Maryland, for the. I think he was there with us for the vacation, so we're hanging out doing vacation-y stuff, and along one of the streets that crosses the boardwalk or bottoms on the boardwalk is, like you said, Worcester.
Yeah.
Worcester.
Well, when you're in Ocean City, Maryland, it's Worcester Street.
Yeah. It's pronounced.
And they all say it that way, right?
Yeah.
And I forget if he went to talk to somebody or somebody asked him something, and he said Worcester Street. And like 5 people turned around and looked at him and said, "You're not from here, are you, boy?"
But that whole area is going to love when they get high-speed internet, because there is no service at all.
Really?
Unless you're on unless you're on somebody's Wi-Fi. There is my Siri never worked the whole time I was there.
You mean like 5G service?
Yes, like actual like service.
Like where we were, like where my cousin was, where we were staying, that's the valley. And then in Drake it is like not a major city. So like they don't have like a tower. She was saying that they share the tower that's in
yeah, but it wasn't just that. Like even at
university.
Richie's, even
he lives in the valley. It'd be like that sometimes.
Like no matter where at the Portuguese club, nothing. Like it was.
You're in a brick old building.
Well, all right, but here's the point. Where I'm trying to go, you know, is the fact that, you know, we have been dealing with internet, you know, for quite a long time, to the point where we expect it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing new to us.
Right.
But if you interject just today's internet into a society that had never seen, like, this is like magic to them.
Oh, to the natives in the Amazon.
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to like liken.
I thought you were just wanting to complain about not having Siri.
No, but
on your vacation.
No, I was just looking for a way to tie the story into the story yeah.
You're absolutely right though. It's a little crazy what we've come to expect. And what most people in this area don't realize is Wilmington itself has always been very fortunate, even dating back to the days of good old POTS lines, copper. We've always had great telephone and connectivity and net connectivity because the banking is here.
Yeah.
And with that banking here, we always need a good, solid backbone connection. So we like our connection to the internet. Not only do we have great service in general, but our connection to the actual internet itself, the backbone, the getting off of your cable service or getting off of your provider's pipe onto the big pipe.
Yeah,
we get onto the big pipe really readily here. So we have great service. And they're starting to get a little bit of that in the Amazon rainforest. In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a remote tribe is grappling with the unexpected arrival of the internet. The Marubo people, who have lived in relative isolation for centuries, are now connected to the World Wide Web thanks to Elon Musk and his Starlink satellite constellation. This newfound access to information has brought both opportunities and challenges for the tribe. On the one hand, the internet has opened doors to education and communication. The Marubo people can now connect with the outside world, learn new skills, and access vital information in case of emergencies. For instance, they can now call for medical help much faster in the case of an accident or illness.
Yeah, it's a lot faster to pick up a fucking cell phone than start a fucking fire and get the right color smoke going and then make the fucking
blow some dark smoke signals up, right?
Like, dude, seriously, that they went from fucking these primitive ways of communicating, like tapping on fucking rocks,
drums and
yeah, to fucking having. And it's not, you know, it's funny that they say the hunting and fishing, but there's all the women working, all the dudes are out watching porno.
Well, however, the leaders of the tribe are also concerned.
Where did they get these fucking phones?
Well, when they knew that they had service there, they went and dropped them off.
Like Elon Musk dropped it off?
Well, no, I think they basically found their way in when it was realized that there was some service there. They found their way in. I think there must have been some sort of like satellite service there at some point, you know, like for some basic phone calls. But you know, now they've got, you know, they can get on the pipe. Leaders of the tribe are also concerned about the negative influences of the internet. They worry that younger generations are losing interest in traditional hunting and fishing practices, which are essential for their survival. There are also concerns about exposure to violent content and pornography. The arrival of the internet presents a unique challenge for the Marubo tribe as they navigate the new digital world. They must find a way to balance the benefits of technology with the preservation of their cultural identity.
So, like, if they're remote, like, are they typing in their language into Google? Like, how do they search for anything?
I don't know that they have. They must speak whatever language they're using must be somewhat must be compatible somewhere. You have to have the translations and be able to use it.
Yeah.
Just
I would imagine somebody speaks English or whatever the prevalent language is in their area.
What the fuck was the name of that show about that Alaskan family? Oh, it was the most fantastic fucking show.
I don't know.
All right, so this dude married this chick. They went off into Alaska and he just like built a house in the wilderness. But turns out that was federal land and he couldn't build there. So they like tore it down. So now like meanwhile he had a family of like 9 kids.
So you get the kids to help you move the house.
But here's the thing is they all have these really weird accents. All the kids have these like really strange accents where there's no regional dialect. It's like it's somewhere between like the Canadian up here and the southern like in there. You know what I mean?
And that homogenized Joe Dirt accent.
Not quite, but if you were to mix in some of that Joe Dirt with, some...
So basically, if Kid Rock spent a lot of time in Canada and picked up a new accent?
Yeah. That's a... But yeah, I don't... Was it Wild Alaska? Shit. What was the name of that fucking show?
So I just feel like we just need more information because we have so many follow-up questions. Like, why did Elon Musk put... Oh, look at her. She's so pretty. Why did Elon Musk put the internet there? Where did they get cell phones from? Like, did he also bring cell phones? And what language are they speaking? Is it Portuguese, Spanish, or one that's indigenous to their tribe?
I believe they're in the jungles in Brazil, so I would imagine Portuguese is probably the language. And if it's not their native tongue, if their tribe has its own language, I would imagine there's a fair amount of them that speak Portuguese as well.
Yeah.
When you have those remote tribes, to interact with the outside world in any way, somebody would have to speak some other language.
Right.
It seems to me Portuguese would probably be the language of choice there.
Well, it's the best goddamn language there is, except for American English, right?
Sure.
I think she's giving me the finger right now.
No, my eyes are so itchy. I didn't take my allergy medicine, and just these allergies in Delaware are kicking my coolie.
I feel like the allergies in Massachusetts were kicking your coolie.
Well, no, I forgot to take my allergy pill because when I was packing my medication the morning that we left, I took a pill out, but I didn't have a water where I was packing. And I said, I'll do this after. And then so I realized like that night, so that was Thursday. So Thursday or Friday morning when I was like still in my subconscious mind, like going pee in the middle of the night, I remembered that I never took my pill. And that's why I was so allergic all day.
Oh.
Yeah, the worst.
So what about yesterday when last night when I went and got your allergy medicine?
I did take it last night, but I did not take it. I didn't take it today until just now.
Well, that's 24 hours.
Yeah. I just think with the house, usually we vacuum a couple times a week. Yeah. With us not being home for a week.
Oh yeah,
the house is covered in hair. A little extra hairy.
And you've been away from the allergens here.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact,
although back up in New Hampshire, I was sitting on a bench with a friend. And when I got to my car, I took off my sunglasses and there was a layer of yellow pollen on my sunglasses, so much so that when I wiped it, it was yellow on my pants.
And they're at least one zone behind us as far as everything growing and spitting out the pollen. So they're they're probably a month behind us in allergy
Yeah.
season as well. So you drove into a bunch of crap.
Oh yeah, it was kind of weird. It was very weird. But we had a wonderful time. It was not too hot. It was like 74 at the highest on one of the days, and then just between 70 and 72 the other days. And so that was like, we got lucky that it wasn't like sweltering. But if it was, we would have just gone to the beach.
Yeah.
That's not far.
Just so anybody listening knows, there's a lot of hotels advertising the fact that they have pools, but their pool hasn't been open since COVID.
Oh my God.
But they're still advertising the fact that they have a pool.
Right.
You should know.
So just beware. Oh yeah, no, that's exactly.
Buyer beware. The Merrimack Valley doesn't have any pools.
Right.
Be careful. There's a hole in the ground that we put a big cover over.
Right.
Well, the pool at my brother's hotel looked very like nice and open, but there was a sign that said closed for the season.
Like it was crystal clear water. And
yeah, Megan was like, I was prepared to go swimming.
Like,
and it said closed for the
like
season.
How dare you?
With like a lock on it. I am annoyed that I was bamboozled because I 100% did not have to waste the points and the money on a hotel for the last 2 days. It was nice to have the privacy, but at the same time, like it was so.
It was unnecessary.
Unnecessary. I could have spent my money.
We were much
else.
more comfortable at your cousin Richie's.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to not be with the dog. My cousin was dog sitting, which we knew that it was going to happen. But this was like a 6 month. Also, it was like I wanted a vacation from taking care of an animal. But this dog was 6 months old. It has never been taught anything in its life.
Oh, neat.
Oh, it was so annoying.
Not afraid of the human voice.
No.
At all.
He didn't know no, stop, get down, sit, stay, shut the fuck up. Outside, like didn't know anything. He was just a little jumpy,
unfixed,
howling.
Oh,
yes,
humpy. Raging hormone, humpy,
yes,
cock out, lips showing lipstick, dude.
Yeah,
wow.
Terrible.
Little husky.
Yeah,
your dog was delightful.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing that.
You
and Pete stopping by.
She was a little weird on the first 4 days.
Yeah. You're not my dad.
And then, yesterday when you guys were coming home and I got there, she decided that she was a little warmer when I got there. And I put her out and she did her thing. And then she just like all of a sudden just said, okay, you played with me the other day, so we're going to play. And her way of telling me was running at me full on across the yard. And when she got to the point where she normally stopped, she bounded a little harder and came right up to me. Like, I said, so you want to play? So we got up and we
I have
played.
the zoomies. Let's do this.
And when she came by a couple of times, I put my hand out and she ran past my hand, dragging her side down, across my finger.
Oh yeah.
And then
she likes to play karate.
And then once she realized it, okay, well, I've touched you and nothing has gone bad so far. Like all of a sudden she like came over and put her head under my hand like, okay, you're petting me now. This is a thing. And that was it.
I love that. She had so many days without affection, and usually like we're all over her. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I was leaving yesterday morning, like she was laying on the couch just kind of minding her own business. I walked over, I reached out, I pet her. She moved her looked at me. She just moved her eyes and kind of like leaned in, was all about it. It was awesome.
Well, yeah, that's how it always is, right? Though the last day she warmed up to you.
Mm-hmm. What else is happening?
Joke was on her though. I'd have pet her like that all week.
Right. Did you hear about there's a sexually transmitted fungal infection?
What does that mean?
That means it's a fungal infection.
Oh, it's like not a disease; it's just a sickness.
So, are we going to?
Well, it's really hard to treat. What? Oh, did I skip?
Well, that's not even a story I've got on the list.
Oh, fuck! What was the story you got on the list? I'm sorry.
Fake meat causes real heart disease.
Oh, yeah.
Attention vegans and vegetarians. A new study suggests that processed vegan meats may not be as healthy as once thought. Researchers at the University of Southern California followed a group of people who switched to a plant-based diet. They found that those who ate whole plant-based foods like fruits, vegetables, and legumes.
Dude, when I tell you that staff writer Bill put a goat in his car and drove that fucking goat to Burger King to get it an Impossible Whopper, the goat would not eat that shit.
Well,
goat.
Goats are pretty smart that way.
A goat. I've seen a goat eat fucking siding.
But you know what goats hate? Heart attacks. Goats do not like heart attacks at all.
I don't necessarily know. I mean, I would assume goats hate heart attacks. You're right. I mean, who am I? But like, my parents had a goat. That fucking thing ate a fence, ate siding, ate a can. Dude, whatever.
None of those things are associated with an increased risk of heart disease.
No, but you got to understand that you know, if you try to eat a can, if you get it in your gullet, you're probably going to die.
Well,
you know,
sometimes you're at least going to have a hard time getting it out.
It's going to be painful.
Well, these researchers found that those people who ate a whole plant-based foods like fruits, vegetables, and legumes experienced a decrease in their risk of heart disease. However, those who consumed ultra-processed vegan alternatives like veggie burgers and vegan hot dogs actually saw an increase in their risk of heart disease. The study's authors say that these findings highlight the importance of focusing on
I think it's important to distinguish between a veggie burger and this alternative meat. Because when I remember like back in maybe the late 90s, early 2000s, you could get a veggie burger.
Yes.
It was a bunch of vegetables,
black beans and all kinds
crammed together, and it wasn't bad.
No, and it wasn't ultra processed, and it wasn't made to feel or taste like anything else.
It did not taste like a cheeseburger, but as a fucking sandwich, it was pretty fucking good. I got a couple of them.
Yeah.
You know, a bunch of veggies. Okay.
You know, there's some alternatives out there that are reasonable, that are not trying to hide and be something they're not. They're just
if your life's like if being vegan was so good, they wouldn't need to make it taste like
that's
the
what
shit.
I don't get.
You know what I mean?
Like, if you're a vegan, like, why do you want to have cheese? You know what I mean? Like, if you're a vegan, like, you like vegetables.
Well, the fact is, cheese is awesome.
Cheese is awesome, but if you're so against,
but have you ever had vegan cheese?
No,
I've not.
It's like slime. I
have no interest.
Because not for nothing, but cheese has a certain amount of like a psychological. There's a chemical in there that is, you know, not what we would consider drugs, but it's a happy.
Yes.
You know, it produces dopamine within the brain. Cheese, that's what cheese does.
There's fats and proteins. It makes you like it.
That's what it really does.
So like
bacon's the same way. Bacon is awesome. It makes you feel awesome.
I don't know about that.
Even, you know what, dude, I'll go as far as pork belly, because pork belly is just uncured bacon.
Yeah.
It's still fucking delicious.
Yes. Absolutely.
You don't have to do shit to that. You just got to cook it.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
That's
pork belly is what my grandmother used to call fatback.
Yep.
And my grandmother ate fatback sandwiches.
Yep.
Her for 60 years. Every day for 60 years, she ate a fatback tomato and basically a BLT.
Yeah.
Right? It's not gross. You don't like BLTs?
No, I don't like BLTs.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway. But that's what she ate. She lived to the age of 96.
It's like in Grumpy Old Men, the father. He says, I had a sandwich. It was bacon. You know what I put on that? I put more bacon and some mayonnaise and some bacon. Give me a beer.
Dude, my father would eat bacon and eggs every fucking day for breakfast.
Yeah.
Every day. 93 years old. For a man to be 90, like you when you hear women hit the late 90s, you're not really that surprised.
Right.
But when you hear a dude that worked with asbestos, he was the dude spraying it in.
Right.
In shorts and a t-shirt because it was hot.
Right.
And he was also the dude taking it out in a full-on hazmat suit. So, my father had no respect for asbestos.
Yeah.
None.
No,
there was asbestos siding that we weren't supposed to touch on the house.
That's right.
Yeah, well, guess what? I'm not gonna tell the story or give out my parents' address.
Supposed to come off.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of regulations and shit. So, but 93 years, like he has leukemia.
I can
93.
I can remember my grandfather who he was in the Navy. He was in the Navy in World War II and in Korea when they would build a ship. That's what they'd insulate everything in the ship with.
Yeah.
Asbestos, because it was handy. And so
not only that, but it was fire retardant. It did not burn.
He spent a lifetime around asbestos. And I can remember when I lived in a house with my parents that had asbestos shingles. He'd come by, he'd see a cracked shingle and say, hey, get some paint on that. You don't want that getting in the air. But that was it. I mean, right. that was oh yeah, put some paint on that so it doesn't get in the air.
But I mean, not for nothing, asbestos was a godsend.
Yeah.
People don't realize, like, people hear asbestos and now it's like, they think, dude, first of all, asbestos only causes cancer if you're breathing it in.
If
you don't disturb it, you're fine.
Fine particulates and it's airborne, it's dangerous.
Yeah. Other than that,
if it's
just there,
you should just leave it.
Yeah. Don't touch it.
But they say you should really remove it. But to remove it, you have to break it up and make it become fine particulates in the air. Never mind. Anyway, some people would call that stupid, but elephants call each other things. Did you know that?
No, I figured Erica would be very interested in this because
this is neat. This actually leans to the this kind of leans on the fact that elephants are pretty smart. Have you ever wondered if elephants can call each other by name? Well, according to a new study, the answer is yes. Researchers have used machine learning to analyze elephants' calls and discovered that elephants respond to calls that are meant for them. This suggests that elephants have a much more complex communication system than we previously thought, similar to what we see in humans.
Did you know that, babe?
No.
The ability to use names is rare. The ability to use names is a rare talent in the animal kingdom. It requires a level of abstract thought that was previously thought to be unique to humans. This new study suggests that elephants may be more
I wonder if there's an elephant out there called
Right.
It sounds like Erica.
Yeah. What else does the article say?
What?
The study was conducted by researchers at the University of Kent in UK. They analyzed recordings of elephant calls for a number of different African countries. The researchers used machine learning algorithms to identify patterns in the calls. They then played these calls back to elephants and observed how they responded. The researchers found
Present.
What'd you say?
Present.
The researchers found that elephants were more likely to respond to calls that contained elements that were specific to them. For example, an elephant might respond to a call that included a sound that was unique to its own vocal repertoire. This suggests that elephants are able to recognize each other's voices and that they use these vocalizations to communicate with each other. The findings of this study could have important implications for our understanding of elephant communication. It is possible that elephants use names to identify each other, to warn each other of danger, or to coordinate social interactions. More research is needed to determine the full extent of elephant communication. But the study is a major step toward the understanding of these amazing creatures. Now, when I read the source material for this article, it was really interesting. They said that parrots and dolphins also have similar. They are known to call out to specific other members of the group, but the way that they do it is they mimic the call that animal makes. So
that's funny.
So, like, parrot 1 may call out to parrot 2 by making the noise that parrot 2 makes regularly.
Right.
So, when parrot 2 hears that, he says, "Oh, he must be talking to me." Whereas they're saying that they're pretty sure that elephants actually have a name, like a way that in elephant you trumpet a certain way, and that means that particular elephant over there.
So you could see who's talking shit about who.
Yeah.
Wow. I saw this video once that was about elephants painting, and they could paint from memory.
Do you see what's going on here, right?
That's a sex. Babe, what are you doing?
What, you ever seen videos of elephants having...
bestiality?
Did you see the dong?
That's not bestiality. That's two elephants having sex.
Isn't
that?
That's not bestiality. This is the zoo.
The one in back has 2 trunks.
Looking at people with his belly, with his chicho.
The one in back has 2 trunks.
Watching porn, bestiality, animal.
This is not that bestiality. I was just wanted to make a joke about elephants. I was like, hey, did you ever see elephants having sex? Because they have huge dongs.
She flopped her trunk over that tree to hold on. She's like, I know what's coming. I'm gonna hold on to this tree.
There's nothing illegal happening.
Whoa!
I'm watching a porn on animals.
This is not porn. It's on fucking YouTube.
Okay, regular people porn is on YouTube too.
Oh, maybe that is. Hang on.
Well,
maybe I won't use Bing anymore.
I feel like that's a crime.
That's not a crime.
Bestiality is not a crime.
Bestiality is a crime. That's not bestiality. That's just you have to. There has to be a person involved with bestiality. Bestiality is a person having sex with an animal.
Ew.
Yeah, that's why it's against the law.
I thought it was if you're putting porn, you can't have you can't take pictures of a kid.
Kids, you can't take pictures of a kid.
Saying, I thought bestiality was like that, but for animal, I thought bestiality was animal porn.
No.
I mean, it is animal porn, but it's not porn until there's a person involved.
Ew.
But pornography is the porn is.
I don't. Why does that have to be a law?
What do you mean?
You would
why the fuck would someone do that?
You would think it would just be natural to not bang animals.
Right. I didn't even know there was a fucking word for it.
It's called bestiality.
I didn't. Today years old.
Or what's the other one?
The more you know.
How many fucking stories do you watch this show at all?
No.
It's come
Absolutely
up.
Not.
I mean, listen, if there's ever a news story about somebody fucking a dog, we talk about it.
That's right.
And we show their pictures. There was a Penn State professor.
Yes. Took his dog out to the woods to bang.
He used to take his dog out to the woods to fuck it. Was caught on a ranger's, they had trail cams.
Disgusting.
He was caught on trail cams.
No.
Yes, that happened.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that's fucking gross that I didn't.
And they were able to corroborate it because he had iPad footage that they found when they see.
Oh, yeah, he videoed himself doing it.
Ew.
That's another thing. That's what always boggles me. Not the fucking animal part, but the recording yourself. Keep your shame to yourself.
What makes them want that?
I have no idea.
Cool.
But you're allowed to watch animals have sex. I promise. You can watch a tiger have sex.
I don't want to.
You can watch a turtle. Turtles, dude. Did you ever watch a turtle have sex? It's fucking weird.
Because until today, I thought it was literally illegal.
Turtles are dirty, man.
I can't believe she thought that. What you the zoo is a peep show. You know that like every noise you hear, every bird, every cricket, every animal making noise is just screaming to fuck. That's what they want to do.
There used to be a gorilla at the Philadelphia Zoo.
The one that would jerk off all the time?
Yeah, he would come and sit in that inside enclosure that they have for him. Like, he'd come inside and he'd sit in his swing and just wail on it constantly.
Oh my god!
There used to be was it Kids in the Hall or the State? Used to have the two Italian brothers, and they at the end of every skit, no matter what they were like, it was like, "Hey, you want to go to the zoo and watch the monkeys do it?" And they're like, "The monkeys know what do it. The monkeys make a love." He said, "The monkeys make a more." You want to go to the zoo and watch the monkeys make a more?
That's funny. Oh.
So yeah, I was visiting. I visited my son today.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And,
right. You got a new grandbaby.
I got the new grandbaby, and we're very happy that mommy is with this one. I know with the older daughter, there was a problem providing milk.
Oh.
They had to go to formula, but now, you know,
Doing it.
mommy's able to produce milk, and they're pumping. And Matt was telling me, he says, "Man, they got an electric titty sucking machine." Man, AI's getting all the good jobs.
I hate y'all.
And I was dude in the kitchen, and he's like, I think he might have said electric titty suckers.
Right.
Or electric. Now, here's the thing. What sounds more redneck to you when someone says, like, say the sentence was electric titty suckers?
Right.
Or if it was called, if you said, man, she got these electric titty suckers.
Electric.
Because we decided that you either have to skip the E altogether or really hit it hard.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on where. I mean, I think that's regional.
That could be it. Like my dad says Italian.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's regional.
I think,
My
from
boss
Minnesota.
says Italy.
That's idiotic. Italy.
Is that like a thing? People in
Yeah, no, that's another regional thing. I'm not sure what region, but yeah, I've heard that a number of times.
There's a vowel in between the T and the L.
I don't know.
It's
That's how
Italy.
people are raised.
Yeah, but I mean I only take that excuse for so long. Like once you're like 30, you should understand where you
Italy.
I mean, you should understand where your parents failed you. You know what I mean? Like
Right, but what does everybody drink from the crick in Delco? Water.
that's
What's
true.
up?
Yeah. All right. And I don't want to keep harping on people from Delco. We can't do it every show.
I know Pete's not even here.
I know.
What else is in news?
Did we cover everything?
Yeah, I mean, last week's show was so good that you and Ricky had to take a vacation. That's big
We
stuff.
did. We did. And it was fantastic.
And then I guess I could tell you that the top 3 news has been brought to you tonight by 302-46 Voice. If you want my voice on your project, call me at 302-46 Voice. My Sports Reports art shop, you can check them out at redbubble.com and mysportsreports.com. Get some art, stick it on a tote bag or a pair of underpants and buy it and get yourself some cool undies with cool art on them. Stepmoms Without Children is a sister show to the Media Virus podcast. They're in hiatus right now, but when Ricky comes back, she's coming back strong for a season 2. We hear rumblings that we may get a Pete episode and a Big Daddy episode. Those could be awesome.
Could be.
Disruptive Minds podcast. That's staff writer Bill. You hear us talk about him every once in a while. He went and put together some interesting podcasts out there for the Disruptive Minds podcast. And The Boog, that's a film by Red Cup Films, is available on Blu-ray. Check out and look for Red Cup Films and The Boog movie on Facebook. And I can also tell you that coming up after the break, we're not going to talk to the guy who we were going to talk to because he had a little emergency pop up, but we're going to go and we're going to talk to, we're going to see Big Daddy Asks, number 20.
Ricky sent me a pretty interesting article that I think is worth getting into.
Okay,
So
we're going to jump into it.
I got something in my back pocket. I guess we're going to talk about education rankings.
Ooh.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Stay glued to your seat, folks.
Educational rankings here on the Media Virus Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back right after this.
See you later.
How's that?
Worse.
Much worse.
All right.
Also, what if you try a temp agency?
I actually, a lot of the applications I've put out are going through temp agencies, and they keep coming back to me with jobs that look like their jobs, and then you get all the way to the bottom of the posting, and this is not an offer of employment, and you go and you take a 1-week course and become an insurance agent, and
yeah. I mean, selling insurance makes a shit ton of money if you do it right. And I feel like I wish I got into that. But if you don't have the time, then you don't have the time.
Yeah, I'm considering it, but it's not what I'd like to do because I'd like to have something that's got like benefits and a paycheck.
Right.
Rather than, well, you didn't close any deals this week, so there's no pay this week.
Right? That's a hard life.
Yeah, but when you start off, you're doing like the administrative stuff. So you do get a paycheck, and then the insurance.
No,
like a bonus.
no. I've when you start off, you go and you learn how to. They put you through an intensive 1-week class that you don't get paid for, and then they start feeding you warm leads. And if you're not closing, tough shit.
Yeah, I don't think. Becky works for a temp agency, but it's all like manufacturing, and it's not. It's like a lot of jobs in Pennsylvania. Like her territory is like Lansdale and Montgomery County.
Yeah, and that's another problem because every time I look for stuff in Wilmington, they're trying to put me in downtown Philadelphia.
Right.
I don't want to drive into Philadelphia. Sorry.
Right.
It doesn't work for me right now.
I have friends that work in Capital One and Discover and Bank of America.
Yeah.
Look at their websites to see if there's anything.
With being out of work and not being able to pay my bills so well, that's really not an option for me right now. Because they do a credit check.
Oh.
Yeah. Part of their background check is a credit check, and I'm in really.
No, because I have one friend that she's like eviction after car repo after car repo.
Huh.
She's at Bank of America. We're not on. This isn't recorded, right?
Yeah, we're live still.
Yes.
Oh shit.
You got names?
No.
All right, don't worry about it. It's not like anybody fucking watches this. It's not.
Is that one of Ryan's clothes?
No, that's a. Well, I was gonna change my shirt to go see my sister.
Oh, just in case.
Yeah.
I want to go to bed soon. I drink gas in the morning. I need my debit card.
My wallet's on the table now. So.
Okay.
If I don't go down and get it tonight, feel free to just leave the cards on the table. I'll put everything away.
All right.
I hope we did payroll on time.
Me too. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. waiting for Audacity to reopen.
It's a pain in the ass.
It can be, yeah. I got to turn the bass down.
Pete said call him after April.
Chuck, puppy. All right.
Also, I just feel like you don't know until you try. Like you can assume things about some jobs.
Yeah,
like, just
and
do it anyway.
I've been throwing a lot of shit at the wall, and
yeah. No, that's good. That's what you're supposed to do. Matt was worried that for work from home stuff.
The Media Virus Pod.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm not getting a whole lot of responses.
Yeah.
But I've also been told that that's because my resume should be tweaked for every particular job that I send it out to.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
And that it should have hard metrics of why I'm successful in whatever that is.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that part I've never done just because I fucking don't care.
Well, yeah,
but some of these, some of the jobs will have like a computer that sifts the resume. So if you don't have the same words from the job posting that are in your resume, then they're not even going to see it.
Right, and that's what they're doing now. Hang on, I've lost connectivity with my camera. Hello. Oh shit. Bullshit. Well, I will switch cameras mid-show. Apparently, my phone wasn't charging, and it is dead, so I've got to give it a couple of minutes to get some. So we will go to the integrated webcam for right now. And so we're going to go with this for right now. Are we ready?
Yep.
All right. So we will go with Big Daddy Asks here on the Media Virus Podcast. Episode.
The Media Virus Podcast presents a Stanley McFadden production. Big Daddy proudly brings to you
Big Daddy Asks.
If your dick was detachable, what would be the best use for it? I'm going to go with murder weapon, just because I think that's funny.
Yeah, I hit him up.
Okay.
Well,
if your dick was detachable, what would be the best use for it? Matt?
What could I possibly, I mean, first of all, if my dick was detachable, I guarantee you I would have lost it by now.
Facts.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
be like your keys.
Right. If it was detachable, though, I might be able to trade in and get another one.
But you might be more apt to track it down. Like if you put it together with your keys, maybe you wouldn't lose them both. So like you'd hang on to it because it's now twice as important.
Do you see the size? This is my keychain.
I was just gonna say, you obviously haven't met this man.
All right. Now, the reason that I have this tassel on my keys is because it's large and doesn't weigh that much, and it's soft.
Okay.
I just add trinkets as I go.
Okay.
And then, but
horrible for your ignition.
No, I understand.
It's very light.
All this shit is kind of light. It still does damage, but it's it's not like the keychain of the '90s where you had to. Dude, I had a girlfriend, like I think my first girlfriend.
She was ugly.
What are you saying? Are you saying I can't get a pretty girl?
Yep.
I got you.
I'm Shrek. Go.
You're beautiful. I forgot. I'm so insulted that you called my wife Shrek.
Fiona. No, I used to have a keychain that like made every fucking sound, and it was giving Mighty Joe Young vibes. It was so stupid. And then
she had one of those keychains that you could put a wallet-sized photograph.
Oh God!
Now every keychain was at least every other piece. So she had.
Yeah. She had one from fucking like Legoland. She had one of her niece.
But you used to just buy them. They used to just say goofy shit.
Yeah, it was like a meme, but
before we could post memes to the internet.
We had
keychains, bumper stickers, and posters.
Right.
And buttons.
Buttons.
Yeah.
Buttons were fantastic.
Did you have 75 buttons on your jean jacket?
Oh yeah.
I didn't, but I did love the Happy Bunny stickers and the Trendy Wendy stickers from Hot Topic.
Also,
that was my name for a while, Trendy Wendy online.
Also, my jean jacket when I was a young teen, like 14, 15.
Yeah.
Was a Jordache.
Okay.
Jordache didn't make that traditional design.
Right.
So it wasn't like it was a denim jacket. It was a jean jacket, but it did not look.
It was a blazer.
Right.
Like it looked like a members only jacket.
Okay.
Like a bomber.
So,
not as cool as a bomber,
Uh-huh.
but it had like went up to here. Like
it was giving blazer.
Kind of, maybe. I don't not
Jordache when I was 14 or 15 was sold at Walmart.
See, here's the thing. Jordache was for a while, I think, an exclusively women's jeans company.
Yes.
So I realize now that I just had a fat chick's jacket on.
Uh-huh.
And
oh, Pita Pumpkin Eater.
I didn't buy those patches, like the rock and roll patches.
Right, neither did I.
But no, it gets worse. My mom bought me puffy paint.
Did she?
Yeah. Right. So my jean jacket had, at the top it said Ozzy Osbourne misspelled.
In puffy paint.
In puffy paint, in red puffy paint. I think it said I had Guns N' Roses written on there. Like a mentally challenged 15-year-old.
Right.
You can imagine my penmanship with the puffy paint.
So
Pete, you got to go inside. You got to
Big Daddy
get out of the wind.
What's that?
So, Big Daddy asks, Pete, was if your penis was detachable, what would be the best use for it?
Let me get in the car so you can hear me. Too much ambient noise out there.
Oh, is it?
So you knew that?
Yep, I just wanted to piss you guys off.
All right.
I thought his question was going to be if your penis was detachable, where would you store it?
That's what I thought too. Because that's the obvious question, but not what's the best use for it. Like, what else could you use your penis for if it came off?
Okay, so that was the question was, if it was detachable, what's the best use for it?
Yeah, what else would you use it for?
What else would I use it for? Well, let's see. I'm thinking like a plunger.
Ew.
No. How about a hammer? Use it as a hammer.
If it was detachable, you
No.
probably couldn't feel it.
So you think that you would want to beat your dick against a nail? I mean, that's
It's
just
detachable. You can't feel
No.
it. You know.
No, I feel like what I would want to do. Let's see. It was detachable.
Mike, what's your answer? You've had a long time to decide.
I don't think anybody can even.
I feel like I would use it to scare old ladies in the park.
Just walk around with it on your forehead and show it to people.
Wield it like a bat.
Ow.
Well, this probably,
or maybe like I treat it like a pointer. Give presentations with it.
How about put a laser pointer on it? And make it look like a lightsaber. Zoom, zoom.
And if your penis was detachable, where do you think you would store it?
Behind my ear, like a carpenter puts his pencil.
No, I'd have a holster. Like,
No, but like, okay, it's time to go to bed. Let me take my dick off. Let me go put it in the fucking refrigerator. I don't know.
but like if it's detachable and like you leave without it, but then you have the opportunity to use it, you don't have it.
Oh fuck! I left my penis at home.
No, I left my penis on the kitchen table.
Hey, big boy.
go
home
look
with
for
me?
it on whatever
Actually,
avenue.
can you go to
and
my
see if
place?
it's.
My penis.
I saw it on a blanket. Come on, everybody knows everybody knows the King Missile song, right?
No.
King Missile, detachable penis.
Nope.
I've heard it.
Oh my God, I know Matt's heard it.
Yeah, I've heard it.
No,
it's what I started thinking of, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But that's an odd question, and I feel like that's the type of question that comes out of someone, a product of the Delaware education system.
It's giving low education.
Big Daddy's a Philly boy.
Well, that's ain't much better.
Unless it was one of those good charter schools.
Well, we have them.
Sorry,
So are you diving into something that I don't have a link for?
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently, Delaware ranks nearly last of
public education.
Yeah. So let's. Okay.
Like, how they determine that?
Well, the Annie E. Casey Foundation has released its annual Kids Count data book. Largely impacted by the pandemic, students are still suffering from being behind. Nationally, 1 in 3 fourth graders meets reading standards. A quarter of 8th graders are proficient in math, and 30% of students are chronically absent. Poverty and the lasting effects of the pandemic are molding the struggles of students nationally, but statewide as well. Academic outcomes for kids in Delaware are especially alarming, with 75% of 4th graders not proficient in reading, 82% of 8th graders not proficient in math, and 25% of students chronically absent.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what, I think I see those kids hang out in my neighborhood.
Well, I did notice a bunch of kids around there.
All the fucking time. The report also shows that Delaware ranks 45th in education. So that's not dead last. I mean, there's 50 fucking states. All right.
Not great, though.
No, I mean, but I bet you we beat Alabama. Let's find out. All right. So before we start, 45th. So who are the 5 states dumber than Delaware?
Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, and Alaska.
Alabama.
Wow, she answered that really fast.
I'm going to throw West Virginia in the mix.
Ooh,
so what's your count?
Who, me?
Mike, Yeah, give your. Do you agree with Erica, or do you want to change?
Oh, Louisiana.
There's 5.
Not West
There's
Virginia.
There's only 5.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Kentucky, Alaska.
Yeah.
Did you read this article?
No, not at all. I don't read articles. Are you kidding?
Did you see a TikTok about this?
No, I'm thinking of fucking dumb states. The people in Alaska aren't going to school.
Whoa.
The people in Alaska aren't going to school. I watched a whole fucking movie.
All right,
about
so
it.
like
Because
write
they have to
down
go
those states,
fishing.
Maddie. Don't travel through those states.
Right. Mississippi is Mississippi. Louisiana, they're like living in the fucking bayou, not going to school because they have to feed their family. They're mad poor.
So we have
Kentucky is just the South.
Believe it or not, and this really hits hard for me. Texas is among the dumb states, as from what I'm saying.
Well, they probably have the same fucking truancy problem.
Right, but for the
All those
most
dreamers
part,
not
textbook standards for the entire country are based on Texas textbook standards.
now. Hang on a second, because this is overall child well-being.
Oh,
Okay, so that's not necessarily education. So their well-being isn't so great in Texas, but the fucking books are accurate. You might get shot, but
You might get killed because you're brown.
you might. So I'm gonna see if we got kids count. Kids count. Oh, I get it. Kids count. Like they not like kids
Yeah.
perform the act of counting, but
No.
we
No.
count the kids.
Kids matter.
Kids, I see. That's where this company's going to shit, or this country's going to shit. You know, when I was a kid, nobody fucking paid attention to kids, and look how great the country was. We've got to stop paying attention to these little bastards. They don't know what they're fucking talking about. They've only been here a couple of years.
and not for nothing, Sesame Street did a pretty good job with us. Nobody watches that shit anymore,
No, it's on fucking HBO now.
right?
What?
How awful is that? Yeah, HBO gets it first, and then they give it to PBS a full season later now.
So weird.
Oh.
We got it straight off the tap from PBS.
Right?
Right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Remember the electric company?
Yeah. With Samuel
Hey,
Jackson.
you guys.
Samuel L. Jackson was on the Electric Company.
Yeah.
We were watching a lot of Sesame Street this weekend because one of my cousins had their daughter there, who's a smarty pants.
Right.
He is Sesame Street and Miss Rachel. And Matt expressed to us that he was afraid of Snuffleupagus.
I was afraid of Mr. Snuffleupagus, and I was afraid of the Count.
When I was a kid, the guy who built the motor for my dad's Orange 70 GTO he had a drag car. It was a 1970 Pinto. It was a pro stock real on drag car.
Uh-huh.
And in the back of it, he had a rather large Mr. Snuffleupagus doll.
Whoa.
That rode with him.
With his feather eyelashes.
Yep. Snuffy.
You know who creeped me out a lot on that? Bruno.
Oh yeah. Bruno was a little weird.
Bruno, the guy that carried Oscar around.
They actually wrote him out fairly early on. I remember Bruno when I was a kid, but like he kind of, by the time my sister was watching, Bruno was kind of gone, and it was because kids didn't identify well with him. He was the garbage man that when Oscar needed to go somewhere, he would come along and pick up the trash can and haul Oscar around.
He never said I don't think he ever said anything.
No, he was silent, but he was big and kind of scary looking.
Yeah, like he didn't really have eyes. They were just like big eyelashes, like no pupils, like he was just
A transporter.
yeah,
Yep.
like Michael Myers style,
Ew.
I mean, now that I think about it, I half remember seeing that as a kid. But as far as I ever remember, it was just Oscar's fucking feet would stick out. He just come
Well,
out.
yeah, that was eventually what they went to, was like Oscar would just hop off the ledge or whatever that his can was up on, and like, bloop, pop up and feet, going. Like I said, but before that, it was Bruno. Bruno would come along and Oscar would be like, Bruno, let's go, Bruno just take over. And Bruno was like pretty beefy, like massive guy, but never said a word.
Yeah, here he is.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
he's just big and scary. Oh,
I remember him looking a lot. I remember him looking a lot scarier than that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you were a child, Pete.
I was.
You know what? I went to. I remember my parents rented this house in Wildwood when I was like 5.
Uh-huh.
Right, and then maybe like 8-9 years later, my parents rented the same house in Wildwood, and that house got a lot fucking smaller.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that house seemed huge when I was 5. Huge. But when I was 13, I was a massive human being at 13. You know what I mean? But when I was 13,
I can't relate to that.
I know, but it was a lot smaller. Okay, so just like Mr. Snuffleupagus used to scare the shit out of me, but once you see a kid get gunned down the street, Mr. Snuffleupagus isn't so scary anymore.
That's right.
Right. So that's just kind of how things go.
I mean, from what you tell me, by the time you were 13, you were like Mr. Snuffleupagus sized.
Well, pretty much. I mean, I was a big boy. But yeah, I can't fucking get a straight answer. But according to Copilot, we got Mississippi, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Alabama.
Oh,
and West Virginia.
Oh wow! So not Alaska.
No, West Virginia.
So I got 3.
Mississippi, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Alabama.
See, New Mexico.
The problem with New Mexico is
Kentucky and Alaska.
It's full of New Mexicans. You know what I mean?
Well, the other problem with New Mexico is that's where the NSA has their new big suck it all in server farm.
That's cool. So they're just like listening
to the NSA.
I mean, they hear everything we're saying now just because we're live streaming it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But
I may or may not have mentioned it before, but I'm always on their radar because a buddy of mine dated a girl who worked for NSA for a very brief stint, but they went on enough dates that they started checking his background and the background of his known colleagues, and affiliations of which I am one.
I'm probably on several watch lists myself.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not on a list by now, I've failed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right?
It means nobody, dude. If the government isn't paying attention to me, that means nobody is.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And maybe that's it. Maybe if I got a little following, maybe the government would pay attention. But
so I've said this a number of times on phone calls with my buddy. Can you imagine the asshole at NSA that has to listen to this show every week? Do you think it's just one guy, or do you think there's a team?
I think it's one guy, and he's probably glad I'm here. He's like, "Oh, the girl's back on. The wife, yeah."
Finally.
Hey, you.
You know what we should do? We should have somebody like report us. For something. It sounds like Pete is what that noise is. Because Pete, what are you doing at the moment?
Nothing.
It's
my niece. Nothing.
Do you have the air conditioner on?
I do. I have it on like the lowest fan setting because I was
Every
like, I
time
know
you
my.
stroked your beard, there was a noise that sounded like you were breathing in directly into the microphone.
No.
So, all right.
Anyways.
So anyway, we're just gonna.
The microphone's over here, like
So those
way
are the
over there.
states that are below us in education.
Yes,
they
those
round up 50.
Yeah.
And so who's above us?
Everybody else.
Who's number 44? Fuck
Yeah,
off.
like who's right above us? Who do we have to take out? Like who's next?
Like I said, I wasn't able to find this list.
Oh.
But I asked Copilot what the,
You couldn't get. Well, so here's the. I clicked on the data book link. Child welfare. No, I guess there's nothing good in here.
All right. But yeah, there's a sexually transmitted fungus now.
Wonderful.
There is a fungus among us.
There's a fungus among us.
Oh, here we go.
You got something better to talk
about? Well, no, I was looking at.
See, I thought I had all of the links.
I found a clickable list in the report. I'm hoping to get some specific data points.
Yeah, so I thought I had the windows open for the things that we had talked about and agreed that were. So I didn't even I heard you do the top 3. You know what I mean? But it didn't, and I didn't look over the show sheet like I should have.
We checked it.
What's that?
I said you were there for the conversation when we chose them.
No, I know. I just,
I color coded them in the link list.
Yeah, I know what you did, bud. I know how much work you put into the show. What I'm saying is I ignored all that.
Right.
I decided I wanted to talk about this for some reason. No, it was just up, and I fucked up. Sorry.
That's okay, but I mean, you were really intrigued by this story when we talked about it earlier that there is a sexually transmitted fungus.
Yeah, it's more details on the first U.S. case of this sexually transmitted fungal infection. According to People magazine, the fungal infection is known as type 7 V, but it's referred to as Tmvp2. So totally ripping off our podcast.
It's trichophyton mentagrophytes type 7.
Whoa.
Type 7. It's a type of ringworm that is not fatal but hard to treat. Additionally, it is reported been discovered in a man from New York City who traveled to England, Greece, and California. NBC News adds that the man had sexual encounters with multiple men over the course of his travels. When he returned to the U.S., he reportedly developed a red, itchy rash on his leg and across his groin and buttocks. What did you expect to happen? Listen, if you're going to have sex with multiple people while you're traveling, you're going to get a disease.
It's common sense.
That's just what's going to happen.
If you bang everyone,
did he even think about using protection?
So
the thing about a fungal infection though is that it could be on the guy's ass and then it's on your pubis, or is it on the dick? I'd imagine maybe he said that rash was everywhere. I'd imagine it gets spread and just
you sweat, it moves. So Matt, you just came back from a trip. How many people did you bang while you were away?
I banged absolutely no one.
And how many diseases did you come back with?
None.
Ricky, can you confirm that?
How many diseases did you come back with that you didn't leave with?
None. But no, we traveled.
Record, by the way,
we traveled with Ryan.
How many people did he bang while you were away?
No, nobody. But it also put a damper on us banging.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Since we all shared a bedroom, it's kind of rude to fuck in front of your kids.
I'm betting he's having the same conversation with his friends right now. I didn't get to bang anybody while I was on vacation.
No, well, yeah.
I was in the room with my dad.
Right. So I can't stand the noise coming out of you, Pete. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's driving me up a fucking wall, and I don't want it.
And it stops every time he talks about it. So I have to imagine it's on purpose.
Look. You can't even tell when I turn it on and off. You can't see my hand.
You can't tell when I know when there's a fucking noise that's driving me crazy, Pete. Do you understand? Right. I'm not. These are not auditory hallucinations that I'm fucking having. Mike hears it too. You know what I mean?
How long can I ignore it just to watch you go crazy?
You guys have never watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I have watched a few episodes of it.
I do get down from episode 1. Just start. If you can't get into it, force yourself. You will eventually think it's the funniest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life.
I've enjoyed everyone I've watched.
No, they're fantastic, but there's this episode where the two main male characters rent a house in New Jersey together, and the fire things are chirping, and one's pretending it does. It's not bothering the other one. It's driving absolutely crazy. And he's like, "How do you not hear that?" And then finally the guy goes, "I hear it." He's like, "Why don't you say anything?" "Because I hate you." That's the relationship we're having right now. Pete is the smoke detector. I'm the one that's bothering, and you're the one ignoring it, pretending you don't care.
Like I said, the question is, how long can I pretend it's not happening?
Well, it's either that or I roast.
Now that I've directly asked you,
it's either that or I roast and die.
You see that it's funny that the second one does not bother me at all.
I was going to say, when you saw me get up a moment ago, I went to turn off the air conditioner that popped on because I knew that it was going to make a horrible noise.
You know, let me tell you something. I understand that an automobile is not an ideal podcast studio. That's why I don't sit in my car and do the podcast.
But
if I thought that
I came up with a great idea, though.
Did you?
I did. So next week, I'm going to try to find a very, very quiet location outside of my car and away from, hopefully, a lot of this ambient noise. I chose like the absolute worst place. I'm underneath 141 in Stanton.
Newport.
Yeah, Newport. I'm sorry, Newport. In Newport. Yeah.
All right, so under the underpass of 141 in Newport. Go over. Pete's hanging out, giving out hand jobs. $15 a man.
We'll let you on the show live if you go and knock on Pete's window and ask him for a hand job.
If you need directions, give us a call at 646 Virus 01. That's 646 Virus 01. We will tag Pete's location for you. $15 a man. He can do 4 at a time, but you have to stand tip to tip. Remember that time? Remember that time you tried 6? It was hard, Pete. It was hard. Gonna sit down for a week. Anyway.
So I'll try to find a very quiet place next week.
Mike,
what?
There's a beating of an old man's heart under the floorboards.
You caught that?
Did I catch that? I think I caught it. And it's funny because
wait a minute, that's the Telltale Heart?
Yes.
By Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe. That's correct.
Yep. See, I remember my my college prep school English class teachings.
I forget what the movie's called, but I think it's Cusack. John Cusack does a hell of a Poe.
Yeah, I forget which. Yeah,
I forget what it's called, but John Cusack played Poe in a movie. Fantastic. I think it was a fictional. It was somebody. It was fictional, I believe, based on his story. The fuck was that called?
I'm gonna.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, we've got what we got come up in the C block, Mike.
Well, in the C block, Matt, I can tell you that we're gonna.
You can tell me everything. You can tell me whatever you want.
We are going to finish out this week's show with just the tips, number 95, and talk about some FU when we follow up on the Titan submarine tragedy and that guy who zoomed into his driving without a license hearing from the driver's seat of his from his car, and that we're going to do here on the 188th installment of the C block of the Media Virus podcast. Did you want me to end there?
Yeah, go ahead, man. We'll start there.
Completely done?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the end of the B box, folks. We'll be back right after this.
Well, when the microwave runs, I piss my pants.
Whew.
All righty.
And we're out.
Yep.
I can say all kinds of whack shit now.
Well, we're still live, but
we're still live. Right. So hey Matt, thank Erica for sending me all of the job opening texts. He sent me a bunch of stuff.
He's muted talking to her.
Oh, he's talking to her. Now, mic's off. Yeah, thanks. We figured that out. This is directed at Maddie, not you, Mike.
Okay.
Wait. Let's see. Let's go. There we go. Right in the middle. Oh, wow, my finger's too big for the screen.
Oh, that was The Raven.
It was called The Raven?
Yeah. 2012 film with John Cusack as Poe.
Huh. Okay.
I can't believe I'm not sure I can't remember.
I probably never watched that.
And I love I love The Raven.
I love that stuff when I was in high school. They made us read it and whatever, you know, like the Telltale Heart, the Cask of Amontillado.
Amontillado, yeah.
No, it's Amontillado. There's no L. You don't say the L.
Depends on which version of Spanish you are speaking.
Yes. Okay. Fine.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
I can now.
Yeah, the box took a shit.
Oh.
So I had to swap microphones. I didn't realize it at first, and then I had to swap microphones out.
The box took a shit, or you just didn't charge it all the way?
I'm guessing I didn't charge it on the way. I had left it on the computer charger.
Yeah.
Like hooked to the computer, and it said it was fully charged, and I took the risk thinking that maybe the Apple gives it more charge than my shitty laptop.
No.
And, that is not the case. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to pop it into the hard charger.
So that was The Raven in 2012 with Cusack.
Yeah, I thought that was I thought that was a really good.
And I think I'm going to have to go. I can't remember if I've actually seen that or not.
It's a decent watch.
And because I like Cusack, and I mean, The Raven is probably one of my absolute favorite works by Poe.
Yeah, Well, I mean, it's not based solely like it's a. I don't want to give too much of it away if you're going to go back and watch it, you know. And here's Big Daddy joining us just in time.
Big Daddy coming in for the C block.
What's up, gentlemen?
We have. Are we already open the C block, or are we still like?
I just started the recording, so we can be in the C block now.
Cool. I'm going to actually back to driving.
Oh, and Pete runs away.
So you sat through the break so that you could wait till we were recording
and say goodbye.
No,
leave.
No, I was waiting for Mike to. Never mind. You know what? Bite me, Matt. Bye.
Why are you angry? I don't understand.
I was waiting for Mike to be like, all right, I'm going to start the recording. He didn't say anything. He just, jackass. I know why he does that, too.
That's exactly why I do it.
I know exactly why he does it.
All right, Pete, you have a good day.
You guys have a good night.
Do well.
I will catch up with you guys next week. I will watch what I've missed here. Find out what all the nasty things you said about me while I wasn't here.
Yeah. Oh, wait till I start. You know what? I don't want to wait. Bye, Pete. He doesn't. Does he know? I think he knows. Now. Oh, yeah, because I can see a little preview of him. He's still there. I think he can hear us too. He's giving me the finger. I'm the only one that can see that, Pete.
I can.
There, that's what he's. There you go.
I'm in the studio view.
All right. So we did Big Daddy Ass. What do we do this time? What do we do with C Block? Oh, that's what we do. We do JTTs.
Yeah, just the tips.
Just the tips. So let me get that fired up here and share screen. There we go. Share. In fucking minutes. Okay.
Just the tips. With Stanley McFadden.
What's going on, Media Virus Podcast listeners? It is I, the one and only Big Daddy, proud professor of Big Technology from the one and only U of P. Proudly bringing to you episode number 95 of Just the Tips. Choking. All right. So, ladies, some of y'all like to run off at the mouth, get a little snippy, show you a little attitude. Sometimes that attitude of yours merits some rough handling on our part. Also, some of y'all like it rough. Choking is a way to put that bitch in her place gingerly as you're bugging the dog shit out of her. So here are some tips on choking. One, as a disclaimer, any sort of choking brings with it an inherent risk of death. So keep that in mind. At any time you are depriving the brain of oxygen, there is a risk that you are taking of permanent brain damage. So be very, very cautious with breath play. So I've got some, which is why you're coming here for tips from the master, as well as some modifications that may make it easier for you to jump through any legal loopholes that you may find yourself encountering as you're choking this bitch. See, choking has more to do with control than it does the actual strangulation part. Often us men find ourselves having sex with a woman, and we may put a hand on your chest to, push you back down the bed so you can stop running away from this big dick going in and out of you. And some of y'all like to take that hand and bring it up to your throat, thereby inviting us to choke. There needs to be a conversation beforehand before you do this. So if that's the sort of thing that you like, you need to let us know beforehand, because we don't know how far we should be taking it, and y'all are not good at letting us know how far you want us to take it. And before we end up with a strangled naked bitch in our bed, that's a very difficult story to tell the cops. So have a conversation with your intended beforehand about what you like and how much pressure your partner should be using. Now, you can simply place the hand around the throat. If you put the palm more on the chest, somewhere between the sternum and that little notch area, you can get the control without necessarily choking. You can still have, if your palm is here and you gingerly place your hand, then your thumb and your index finger are going to sit around the throat region without actually putting any pressure. And that's a subtle way to have the feeling of the control without the danger of the choke itself. Remembering that this is more about control than it is about the danger aspect, this may be a good place to start. Now let's take that a step further. If you're going to actually put any sort of pressure, if that is what your partner wants, then the recommendation that I would make is do not push with the blade of the hand. If this blade of the hand pushes against this trachea, you can break that and cause some permanent damage. Also, if you push in on that, you're going to cause damage to her vocal cords. Her ability to speak is going to be compromised. She's going to sound like an old 1920s smoker, and it's going to be a little bit rougher to contact the police and explain your side. If she goes there and decides that, for whatever reason, she didn't approve of it, then all of a sudden you're guilty as fuck. So don't push here. You can set it here, lay the fingers gingerly, never push back here. Now, if you want to take it just a little bit further, you do have these carotid arteries that run along the sides. You can, my beard out of the way, push on either side of these, and you can simulate what would be in judo known as a blood choke. Now, this will kind of cut off the oxygen to the brain as slowly as the amount of pressure that you place will determine. Darth Vader's little force choke, that's kind of what you're going for here. And that's going to slowly diminish that blood supply, and it's going to mimic the effects of passing out more from the loss of the blood than the loss of, say, the oxygen. So it's going to have a less dangerous, inherently less dangerous than it is to use the blade of the hand. Now, those are two modifications that you can use, as well as the warning about using it in general. I would recommend against using any sort of rope around the neck or clothing around the neck or anything that when in doggy you've got around her neck and you're pulling back as you're driving forward. I would eliminate most of that. It is just like, don't use a belt, don't use any sort of, just avoid that, because you're not really in control at that moment, and you're going to be driving into her as you're pulling back on whatever is around her throat, and you're very quickly going to lose control. She's very quickly going to lose consciousness. So I would avoid that when at all possible. Now, a way to modify that choke without the danger of ending up in jail is to simply have her hold her breath. Whoever is wanting to be choked, just hold your breath. That gives you the greatest amount of control over the situation. You can flirt with your breath play this way. Just hold your breath. You can still have your partner with the hand here. You can have it very lightly placed here, just a touch, and hold your own breath. That is going to be the closest simulation that you can get to all of those conditions without any of the danger therein. So you can try that, have fun with it, be careful with it. Your warning came here first. So I don't want nobody coming back to us saying, you did this to me. No, motherfucker, we did not. I warned you against it first and foremost. If you're going to do it, holding your breath is the best second option, aside from not doing it in the motherfucking first place. Otherwise, go with the blood choke. Stay away from belts, ropes, cords, clothing, saddles, whips, any sort of looping around the neck. Just avoid all that. It's too difficult to fuck that up. It's too easy to fuck that up. So just, stay out of it. All right. Media Virus Podcast. Just tips. Have fun with that one. I'm out. Also, every once in a while, you ladies know that you need to put your ass in the Act Right chair. If you don't know what the Act Right chair is, then come to Big Daddy. Get in touch with Big Daddy. I'll show you what the Act Right chair is. All right. Happy fucking.
It sounded like there was a lot of experience. Like, I feel like you were speaking from the heart.
Oh yeah. And most of these tips are coming straight from the mouth of experience.
Well, I mean,
and a lot of research.
It's my understanding that, it probably happens more for you than it does for us, but sometimes you got to choke a bit.
Sometimes you got to choke a bitch, you know what I'm saying? And if you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, make sure you do it safely. And fortunately, with these tips, ladies and gentlemen, I got you. Viewers of the Media Virus Podcast, when you're looking to choke a bitch, look no further than your boy Big Daddy.
My question is, how many encounters with the police have you had over this? He's like, you just sit there talking to the cop. We got a dead bitch in the bed. Like, listen, I got a contract right here. I got a video. I got it on video that she consents to everything that happens here tonight.
Enough experience to warrant these warnings.
That is, well, there was a lot of good advice. If you sat through that, congratulations, you just learned. You just learned a whole
lot about choking.
Yeah, good stuff. Ricky went to bed because she has to go back to work tomorrow, and been off for a week.
And she's not a fan of the C Block anyway.
She's not a fan of the C Block. Honestly, none of us are. I mean,
but the C Block is where we get the tips from.
That's why we have it, man. That's why it's still here. You know what I mean? Holding strong. I just feel, here's the thing, is we usually put a lot of work into A block and B block. But C block is like a free for all.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, it was I was thinking about bringing back the internet vestibule of popularity and opening that up to different
wild and the crazy things are from the internet.
Wild crazy things from the internet. Yes.
Now, why did we discontinue that?
I think it was just hard to perform on Zoom with the shitty equipment we had.
Okay.
And then Mike got better equipment and then we came up with the TikTok corner because TikToks were just easier to run than YouTube videos.
Gotcha.
And then it was, we just kind of.
Well, now that we've moved to StreamYard, we've put ourselves in a position where it's not too difficult to do much. I mean,
anything, right? We can do whatever.
Pretty readily available.
Right. The world is open to us. Even on the free version of StreamYard, the world is pretty open to us. I mean, if we decided we wanted to buck up some dough, we get some sponsors.
Yeah.
To pay some money, then we could be like broadcasting to like three different channels at once. And I think we'd be able to have more guests, and we'd have a green room, like a place where you could keep guests in the back. They can see what's going on.
Shit!
You bring them on. Yeah, you bring them on.
I'll be right back. My puppy's hollering.
Oh. So, how you doing, man? What's going on? Anything?
I'm all right. Nothing is going on for once. I am enjoying the hiatus of both Squirrels and for both the Forgetful Squirrels and Fearless are both in hiatus for the summer. So we're just doing practices. So it's a much less rigorous schedule. However, you can still look to Forgetful Squirrels on the socials because content is still being posted there. So you can check out the Squirrels at YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or Facebook.
Lay down, buddy.
For your favorite squirrel activities.
Well, that's awesome. Is summertime not like is it common for like improv not to be performed in the summertime?
Yes, because a lot of people go away during the summer. So we just found that instead of expecting people to stop their summertime breaks, they're going away on vacation. You got the students that go back home for the summer. It is just a lot of people going away for summer. So very common. Even the theater groups that I belong to don't do much during the summer. It's a lot of like Reedy Point does just readings. Chapel Street isn't doing anything until the fall. It's just most of your creative arts take the summers off.
Yeah,
not the Media Virus podcast. Not podcast.
One thing that is going strong is the motherfucking Media Virus podcast going strong for you, the listener, because this is what we do. We bring to you relentless news, relentless tips, relentless penises. That's what we bring here.
I was now like I went to Massachusetts, New Hampshire area for the week.
Relentlessly.
I did relentlessly. And one of her aunts was talking to me.
Relentlessly.
And relentlessly. And and I was talking to her boyfriend, and he's asking, because I'm learning on taking pictures, he's asking me about photography. He might use me if he needs that type of thing. Oh, yeah, or whatever. And she says to her boyfriend, he does he does a podcast and they're so funny. And I'm like, what? My podcast or Sissy's podcast? Everybody calls her Sissy.
Mm.
She's like, no, your podcast. And I'm like, you listen to my podcast? And she goes, yeah. And I go, and you enjoy that? And she was like, yeah. I go, well, thank you. But I'm like, it's kind of confused.
I find somebody that listens I didn't think would listen. I go, really? That's interesting.
I don't know. You know,
because we are some entertaining motherfuckers.
I mean, we can be most of the time. You know,
even in the C block.
Now, did you hear about the new sexually transmitted fungal infection?
No.
Yeah.
Now, some dude from New York went to Spain and Greece and California and fucked a bunch of dudes throughout. And it's real common in Europe. Amongst those dudes who fuck dudes. It's real common. So this dude from New York went to a place where it's common disease where dudes fuck dudes. Well, he came back and now he's got that disease. You following what's going on?
So what are the symptoms?
It's an itchy red rash. It's like ringworm, but it's real hard to treat.
It's called T. mentagrophites genotype 7.
Or it's referred to as.
It was they're calling it. I believe it was TM. Wasn't it
TMV2?
TMV2.
TMV2.
TMVII.
That's right. Like the sequel to the Media Virus podcast.
The Media Virus Part 2.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And I've see one of the reasons that news story is sticking in my head is because it wasn't slotted for the show at all. At all.
No.
But for some reason I thought it was because I wasn't paying any attention. So I went into like introducing the story. And Mike was confused as to what the fuck I was doing.
Why is he trying to segue into a story that's not in the show?
Why is he segue? Right. And he's like, what are we doing? I'm like, what? Am I doing it out of order? He's like, no, that's not even in the show. And then I just skipped over it. But then
we just wanted to let you guys know that
right. Right.
The media virus is spreading a new disease.
There was supposed to be a guest joining us this evening who had his friend is in the hospital, and I hope everything goes well. And we should be talking to him in a couple of weeks if everything goes well. He'll be, he will be joining us, but he was unable to join us today. So we needed shit to talk about.
So I've got a question.
So I brought that up in B block.
Do you think? I mean, every one of these, gonorrhea is the clap. Every disease gets its own little street name. Do you think we should call this athlete's cock or schwingworm?
This is a guy that went to Spain to get it.
Was it
Spain? So we could call it.
Let me check my sources real quick.
The pain in Spain.
The pain from Spain.
Pain from Spain.
What was the other one? Athlete's cock or what?
Schwingworm.
I like schwingworm. I like schwingworm.
Springworm's pretty funny.
They were both fantastic. Absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. But
speaking of schlong, I did read a story in China about a woman who cut off her husband's penis. What happened was a man was exchanging emails with a coworker. They had not slept together. The wife found the husband's emails. She went into his bedroom while he was sleeping, and cut off his penis with a pair of scissors.
It seems to me she should have cut off his fingers.
He went to the hospital. They reattached it.
Well, that's
the wife went to the hospital, found his room, cut it off a second time, and threw it out the window. When the police found the couple, they followed the trail of blood
I imagine so.
downstairs to outside the parking lot in front of the hospital, where he was on top of her, punching her repeatedly. They could not find his penis.
My guess is she probably had it.
The end of the story is that the woman went to jail. The husband ended up with the new one, the one that he was emailing. The reporter asked the new woman how she could be with a man without a penis. She said, well, because I love more than just his penis, and he already has 5 kids.
Okay.
So there you go.
So what we're saying here, folks, is you don't have to have a penis to have a girlfriend.
Exactly. My question is, did they draw the chalk line around the penis?
Well, they never found it.
Oh, they never found it. That's right.
They never found it. It probably fell into the sewer and got eaten by a crocodile or something.
Or a stray dog picked it up.
Yeah.
Free cocktail weenie.
Is that where the Big Daddy asks question came from? If your penis was detachable?
No, but that's awesome that fit.
Yeah.
See, it's just kismet here on the Media Virus podcast. We don't put anything together.
I just had that thought. I had that thought because I was thinking how awesome it would be, like, if you got in a fight, to just start beating the shit.
Take it out and start clubbing somebody with it.
Because can you imagine, like, you end up killing some dude and the murder weapon is your detachable dick?
I would probably have to fill mine full of quarters or something.
Your Honor, he was beaten with a detachable penis.
Well,
I just wanted to wave mine around in the park. Scare old ladies with it.
I like the fact that it's concealed under my pants. I'll leave it right where it is. I don't need to be showing it to people. Because if it was detachable, I would have lost it by now.
And Erica also
that's fair.
We all thought that the question was going a different direction. So Erica posed the question that we thought was coming. If it was detachable, where else would you keep it?
Around my neck.
I thought, like a carpenter, I'd tuck it behind my ear, like a pencil.
Wear it like a stethoscope.
I would keep it in her pussy. Here,
hold this.
Hold this. I was going to say her mouth, but then she wouldn't be able to breathe, you know? Well, we got some FU to get into.
Yeah, we got a little FU. And you know, we love a little FU here on the Media Virus podcast. A couple of stories that we've talked about in the past that we've got some recent updates on. The Titan submersible that went down to Titanic and popped. There's a new twist that's been revealed in that. Apparently, after a year-long investigation, it's been revealed that the disturbing log transcript of communications between the doomed Titan submersible and its mothership, a document that was circulated by millions online, was a complete fake. So all those little texts that they said they had back and forth was bullshit. They made it up.
Oh, damn.
So was there any communication?
I don't believe so. I think when they said they lost communication and then it came back when they had those little texts and then they lost it again. I think once they lost comm, they lost comm. And it's kind of sad. It says, I'm confident it's a false transcript. It was made up.
Yeah, how do you like it boggles the mind. And they're like the shit collapsed. Like, yo, we gotta make up some fucking communication, yo.
And there's no evidence that once they lost comm, they don't believe that the folks that were down there had any idea what was going on. Like they think they thought everything was hunky dory, and then boom, everything just was gone.
It says part of the log suggests the crew on board the Titan were in a state of panic, with hull alarms going off inside of the submersible before communication abruptly ended.
Right. But
Neubauer hopes the truth around the transcript will bring some comfort to the family of the 5 men inside the Titan that they didn't suffer in their last moments. So, but why would you try to create a scenario where they were all in a state of fucking panic before they died?
Well, it's more interesting.
Or was it just oh no, it's not, our systems didn't fail.
Right. I think that's it's more interesting to have that narrative, and it's, you're also saying that, hey, our shit wasn't
there's another team. I've heard there's another team.
Yeah, James
trying
Cameron
to
actually spoke out and said it's irresponsible for them to even try.
I mean,
yeah, I did read that. There's another rich billionaire that wants to give it a shot to prove that it's safe.
I say fucking do it, man. Go for it.
Let him.
Let's pile all the fucking billionaires in there.
I mean, either he's gonna prove him right or prove him wrong. Either way, it's a story.
It's a win-win for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We get to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean,
we will present it one way or the other.
And
speaking of talking about it again,
right? This guy, I don't understand, dude. I don't understand.
Did we talk to you? Did we bring this up while you were with us, Big Daddy? The gentleman who was in Michigan that was appearing on Zoom in court to answer to charges that he was operating a motor vehicle without a driver's license?
No.
All right, so check this out.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present, please do.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Sorry.
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. And he didn't have a license.
That's what the charge is, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just...
Look at his face.
Both of the faces are classic.
Look at, I mean, dude, first of all, the judge is confused.
Flat. Yeah.
And he is confused. Right? So I'm sorry. Let's get back to
just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
So that was the proceeding that we talked about, and by the time we got that story to air last week, they indicated that the gentleman did have a license. There was a clerical error.
When asked by reporters, why are you so fucking stupid? Right? the reporter, somebody asked him, hey, that was probably the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen a human being fucking do. And he said to a fucking reporter that it was no, he did have his license. There was some kind of clerical error. Where
that he had it reinstated and they didn't get that information to the judge in a timely manner.
Okay, but we made fun of him anyway because first of all, you don't set a doctor's appointment the same day and time as traffic court.
That's a good point.
And as far
and
as
if you do, get there early enough to where you're not on camera
driving.
But what was he going to do if he was getting a prostate exam at the time? Was he just going to have the doctor's fingers up his ass while he's in court? What the fuck?
It would have been a selfie over.
Difference.
Camera would have been back here. Hold on here. The hands are going in. 1, 2. Hold on. And they've pulled in my ass.
What if he was going for a fertility test? Was he just going to be there cranking one into a cup? You know what I mean?
Hold on, Your Honor.
My point
almost there, and we filled the cup.
How dumb are you to set these two of life's most important moments at the same time? That's just idiotic. Okay.
Yeah.
Point one.
Maybe he was trying to prove that's how he chose to rebelliously prove the point.
But my point number two is in most states, it is against the law to use a handheld device while operating an automobile.
Or to take a video call.
Take any kind of distractionary, dude. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now
we have the update.
So
Judge in viral court video says Michigan man never had a license.
Oh.
Never had a license.
Never had. I'm looking for the fucking here. Oh, that's where I was playing the video from.
Yep. Okay.
So yeah.
Corey Harris has alleged that a clerical error regarding his license turned him into a viral court meme. For context, Harris is the Michigan man a judge believed was driving with a suspended license while appearing in virtual court, incidentally, for driving while suspended. Now the judge is clearing the air with the case facts, saying Harris has never been a licensed driver. Ever. Just days ago, 7 News Detroit reported that Judge James T. Borchard ordered the rescindment of Harris's license suspension on January 7, 2022. Corey Harris's license suspension was reportedly tied to a child support case with the Saginaw County friend of the court. The rescindment would have allowed Harris to drive again. However, the friend of the court agency allegedly never sent the judge's order to the Michigan Secretary of State's office, which handles such matters. Therefore, on paper, the license suspension has been active ever since. Note that on Friday, May 31, the Michigan Secretary of State's office reportedly confirmed that they never had received the clearance. With the type of ties that I have with the church and the community, it's very embarrassing, Harris told 7 News Detroit. Judge says he never had a license. So let's see what that's all about. Where'd that go? Now, Judge Cedric Simpson has clarified that the clerical error narrative isn't entirely true. He shared that Harris has never been a licensed driver. With any reference to your client having had a license on that day in some indication or misunderstanding as to whether or not he had a license, let me make it very clear. He has never had a license, ever. And he's never had a license in the other 49 states or commonwealths that make up this country. He's never had a license.
So he didn't get a license.
Right.
So
Judge
what did
Simpson
he do? Like, how do you buy a car without a license?
Well, Judge Simpson explained that the suspension was for driving privilege rather than the non-existent license. The court official didn't end his fact-checking there. He went ham with the facts of the case, explaining his evidence. The way that I know that he's never had a license is because on May 3rd, 1999, he was 19 at the time, he applied for his first Michigan ID. He had religiously every year gotten a new ID. And so he knows that he doesn't have a license. Wow.
Wait.
For 25
can you
years,
repeat that? So he tried repeatedly to get a license and was not able to get one?
No.
What they're saying is he got popped for he got nailed for not payment of child support.
Okay.
And that suspended your drivers. So if he went to go get a license, it would have been flagged in the system. He'd been denied.
But he's never tried to get it.
But he goes to get an ID every year, just like people get their driver's license. So he gets the non-driver's ID. He knows that's a non-driver's ID. So when he got pulled, here's the thing about a non-driver's ID is the number is what your license number would be. It's just an identification card. The number's the same.
And I know in Delaware, it actually says right on the front, this is not a driver's license.
Not a driver. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. That's how Pennsylvania is too.
I wonder what made him think he was going to get away with that.
As a matter of fact, Pennsylvania, like the let's say the driver's license is in a landscape position, right?
Right.
Well, your non-driver ID is in a different configuration in a
so it looks very different.
They appear different. But here's what the guy did to the cop to get the driving while suspended, because he knows what the fuck he was doing. He got pulled over. He gave the cop the ID and then said, "Yeah, well, my license was suspended. This is my ID." So then, instead of getting never having a license ticket, which is worse, he got a driving while suspended ticket.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
Except he was never suspended.
He had probably done that 7 or 8 times. I guarantee it. Just the way, but so he knows that he knew he was committing fraud.
Yeah.
At the same time, he's committing fraud. He's simultaneously scheduled, a court date with a doctor's appointment, operating an automobile while on the phone to court.
So no wonder he's done it so many times. Like, this guy has felt invincible.
Oh yeah. You don't do shit like that when you're new at it. You gotta get caught a couple times.
Damn.
That's the way it goes. And then you just pay the driving while suspended ticket, but you still get to keep your ID. You know what I mean?
I wonder how he thought that was going to go.
He thought it was going to be fine. That's what he thought. You know what I mean? Because he probably pulled shit before. You know, if that were his first time, he'd have been all set up like this and wearing a fucking tie, and he wouldn't be fucking driving to his doctor's appointment.
He might have actually gone in.
Well, I mean, that's. I mean, in all honesty, dude, fucking virtual court in 2022, 2024 boggles my fucking mind.
Yeah,
it boggles my. There's no need for it. First of all, you're there to stay. You need to stand tall in front of the man. That is the fucking point of court. You got caught fucking up. You got to stand tall in front of the man and either say, "Yeah, I fucking did it," or "No, I fucking didn't." And be judged. That's the fucking point. Not be on the fucking phone. Like, what are they going? No, we gotta waste resources sending cops to your fucking house or something. No, bailiff, take him away.
Pretty simple.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's fucking ridiculous. And I mean, let's just face it. His license was suspended because he didn't pay child support. So
yeah, he's wrong all the way around.
There's nothing. Him trying to defend himself was the biggest mistake he fucking could have made. In all honesty, I mean, but again,
because
I think you should go stand tall in front of the man. But this reminds me of, dude. So I knew a guy who got pulled over for drunk driving on his way to court for drunk driving.
Damn.
This was back before drunk driving was a huge deal.
Right.
This is when drunk driving was like an accelerated ticket. Like every time you just had to pay more.
We're old guys.
Right. And he was older than me. And he was telling me the fucking story. And he tells it a lot funnier, but the gist of the story is pretty funny. Because you kind of have to. He's telling you the story, and it's like, and he was one of those dudes. We used to call him Captain Bob, and we fucking the media damaging indifference. We practiced in his garage, and his brother was our singer. But either of them, they both kind of had not speech impediments, but like Bob had like almost a stutter,
right?
Right, or a stammer, and he'd hit you to keep your attention.
Well, damn.
Yeah, because he wanted to tell you a story. So he fucking you're working through the story because you're not sucked in immediately to what's going on, but you kind of you just got to listen to him, and then if you sit and listen to him, it just gets funnier, because he tells you what happened, like because he tells you what happened as he's drinking out of he's drinking out of a disposable cup. There's vodka in the cup. It's and he's just nonchalantly, and then when the cop asked him where he was going, he's going to court. Like the whole story.
What are you going to court for?
Right. Drunk driving. So
what are you drinking?
That guy got pissed. That guy got pissed at me because we took some tape, like big masking tape, and we made an impromptu bumper sticker on his car. It just said "honk if you're gay." He was mad.
I saw a TikTok the other day where this little girl, probably about 13 or 14, on her mother's birthday, as they're getting in the car to go, I guess she's taking her to school or something, she tapes a sign to the back of mom's car that says, honk and give my mom the finger for her birthday. And then the video is them driving along, and you hear, and mom turns her head, and she's getting mad. What the fuck is wrong with all these people? Fuck you! Great.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, I try to tell stories where I don't have to keep their attention, you know?
Yeah.
I think we've officially run out of gas.
Yeah, it's about that time, and that's what happens at the end of C Block here on the 188th.
And you know what? You know what happens is because we've run out of shit to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, and we're also 2 hours and 20 minutes in.
Whoa.
I mean, you really can't fault us for running out of gas after 2 hours and 20 minutes.
No, and
ladies, that's a lot of stamina.
There's a lot of stamina.
Who else do you know that can go for 2 hours and 20 minutes?
Not a lot of podcasts. Let me tell you something. You get more podcasts for your buck. But you know, we put it, like I said, we put a lot of work into A block. We put a lot of work into B block. C block's just kind of let's see what happens. So there we are.
Forgotten stepchild. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, we would listen, man. We would love you to, you know, be a part of A block and B block. You know, the invitation.
It's more like
you don't have to be, you know, the bastard stepchild. You know, we just.
Yeah, hopefully that'll change at some point.
I mean, it is nice to say that we do have a black guy, but he shows up whenever he wants. It makes us seem progressive, you know.
He shows up on his goddamn time.
Right. So do we have any parting words for our people at home?
Parting words. If you have an idea for how Big Daddy should celebrate and or acknowledge episode number 100 of Just the Tips, feel free to call into the show and leave your suggestions for Big Daddy.
At 1-646-virus-01.
That is 1-646-virus-01. That phone number is right behind my live and time.
Yep. Usually it is. I forgot to put it up. There you go. There it is. There it is. 1-646-virus-01. All right, Mike, you want to bring us home?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 188th episode of the Media Virus Podcast here on the Media Virus Podcast Network. And on behalf of Big Daddy, Matty Rockdeff, I'm Professor Mike Lataris, coming from to you live in Uncle Butch Studios. And we'll be back next week to do it all again, right here on the Media Virus Podcast.
Meeny, meeny, mighty mouse catching by the tail. Whoa!
That was the time that Matt's head exploded.
Classic Big Daddy. That's great.
All right, now I'm going to end the stream. So.